everyone and welcome to Pabs Kitchen. Today I am preparing a delightful Nepalese lunch featuring succulent pork ribs with chayote stems, carrot rice and a spicy tomato pickle. This is going to be a realistic show about how I cook in my day-to-day life at home. Let's start, shall we? Firstly, let's take a closer look at these pork ribs, weighing approximately a kilo. If you prefer, you can also option for pork belly, adjusting the cooking time accordingly. Having the overnight in the fridge, this is now ready for our cooking. I'll begin by cutting the ribs into bite-sized pieces. There we go, all chopped and ready. I'll transfer these pieces into a basin and set them aside while we prepare the tasty masala for marination. Here are the aromatic spices I'm using for the masala. I have 4 cloves of garlic, half an inch of ginger, a small stalk of cinnamon, 6 pods of green cardamom, 6 cloves, 1 black cardamom, 1 teaspoon of cumin seeds and 1 teaspoon of coriander seeds. Now all this delightful flavor will be blended together until they form a smooth paste. First in go a few pinches of turmeric powder, half of our freshly prepared masala paste, a teaspoon of salt, drizzle half a tablespoon of oil and the juice of half a lime. Give it a good mix, ensuring that the masala thoroughly coats every piece of meat. While I prefer using my clean bare hand, feel free to wear gloves or use a spatula for this step. Excellent! Now we cover it and let it marinate for at least 30 minutes. Next we have the fresh chayote stems, already trimmed and cut into small pieces. These stems are not only flavorsome but also incredibly nutritious, commonly featured in Nepalese cuisine during their season. For now, I'll set them aside and prepare the rice. This is basmati rice. Put it into a rice cooker. Here it goes. Now I'll start by washing it. Discard the first wash water. Keep the second rinse water in a jar to use later. And then the third time for cooking. Add water a centimeter above the surface of the rice. Plug in the rice cooker in electricity and keep it on the warm setting, indicated by the yellow light. So now I'm leaving this to sit in a soaking mode and I'll be back for this 30 minutes before I finish making my lunch. Alright, let's get back to the meat. After 30 minutes of marination, it's time to heat a pan with half a tablespoon of oil. You can use cooking oil or olive oil for this step. Next, I'll add half a teaspoon of cumin seeds, allowing them to infuse in the oil with their fragrance until a delicate aroma fills the kitchen. Then in go the bay or cinnamon leaves and our marinated ribs. All beautifully combine and cook for 10 to 15 minutes with the lid on or until any excess water dries. While the meat is cooking, I'll finely slice medium size of onion and chop some chilies. I'll be slicing the onions thinly, while the chilies can be cut into your preferable size. Feel free to use chili flakes, powder or dried chilies according to your taste. Once chopped, I'll set them aside. Let's return to the meat. After 15 minutes of cooking, the excess water has evaporated, leaving behind a rich, luscious oil. I'll create a space in the center of the pan and add the chopped onions and chili, ensuring they are thoroughly combined and cooked without the lid on for an additional 5 minutes over medium to high heat. Stir frequently to prevent any burning. As the 5 minutes elapse, I'll incorporate a quarter teaspoon of turmeric powder and half a teaspoon of sea salt, thoroughly combining them for about 30 seconds. Now I'll add the remaining masala paste we prepared earlier. A tablespoon of the rice rinse water is put in the blender and given a little shake, which will help us gather every last bit of masala. Adding it to the meat, thoroughly mix and another 5 minutes of cooking will allow the masala to infuse its flavors into the dish. Meanwhile, I'll chop 2 small tomatoes into small cubes. Turning our attention back to the meat, I'll combine it once more. adding the chopped tomatoes and allowing them to soften with the lid on. As the flavor smells beautifully, it's time to prepare the carrots for our rice. Chop a half cup of mini carrots. It doesn't have to be finely cut. For me, this is okay. These chopped baby carrots will lend an additional layer of flavor and color to the rice. Here it goes into the rice cooker where the rice is soaking at the moment. Giving a gentle mix, putting the lid on and turning on the cooking light that is red, then letting it cook. After finishing cooking, automatically the process stops, so there is no need to worry. Now let's get back to the meat again. Okay, the tomato is soft. Combine it well again and add about a cup of water. Mix again and cook it for 15 minutes over medium heat for the meat to become tender. Meanwhile, I'm going to make tomato and spring coriander achar pickle. 1 medium ripe tomato score on the back with a sharp knife. Then put this into the pan where the meat is cooking and let it be for 5 minutes to peel the skin off easily. While the meat and the tomatoes are cooking, I'll prepare the base of the achar that I'm going to make. Into a blender, put 2 cloves of garlic, chili to taste, spring coriander, and 1 teaspoon or 2 taste salt, and set it aside. Let's remove the tomato and let it cool down a bit. Meanwhile, combine the meat and add chayote stems. Combine it well and cook it with the lid on for 5 more minutes. Now peel the tomato. Chop it up into small pieces so it goes into the blender easily. Here it goes in the blender and blend them, forming a delightful achar that boosts both a spicy kick and tangy undertones. Transfer to a little bowl, then a few drops of lime juice and a drizzle of olive oil add a final touch to this simple, vibrant creation, ready to complement our meal. Our rice is now perfectly cooked and looks absolutely scrumptious. Returning to the meat. After ensuring it's cooked to perfection, I'll remove the cinnamon leaves, leaving the dish ready to be served. Let's plate up. On the side, aromatic carrot rice serves as the foundation. Topped with the delectably spiced meat and a dollop of our freshly made achar. A refreshing slice of cucumber adds a delightful touch to this mouth-watering ensemble. It's a feast for both the eyes and the taste buds. Enjoy! I sincerely hope you enjoyed this culinary journey. If you did, please consider subscribing my channel, hitting the like button and ringing the bell icon. Thank you ever so much for joining me. Until next time, happy cooking!